the Supreme Court has lifted the ban on tiger tourism. 20% of the core area can now be used for tourism. The Supreme Court lifting this essentially means that for the moratorium which was put on it for the last couple of months has now been lifted. This is a relief for wildlife enthusiasts, but the big question now is how the 20% of core areas is going to be handled, who is going to be demarcating it. 6 months have been given to the states to put together a comprehensive plan and submit it to the Supreme Court.
The Apex Court said that the tourism in the tiger reserves should be strictly in accordance with the centre's fresh guidelines. Well, centre had already notified fresh guidelines on the tiger conservation, allowing what they call regulated low-impact tourism in the core and the critical tiger habitat. The fresh guidelines now issued by the Environment Ministry said that since tourism has been happening in the areas of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, which are now designated as core and critical tiger habitat, regulated low-impact tourism visitation would be allowed in such areas subject to the site-specific carrying capacity. Well, the guidelines, however, say no new tourism infrastructure should be permitted in such core and the critical tiger habitats. Well, last week, the Supreme Court had allowed the centre to notify within a week its fresh guidelines on tiger conservation and indicated that it may modify its 24 July order staying all the tourism activities in the reserved areas across the country.
I think it's a good message to send to poachers, you know, who are vying these areas which are now closed to visitors. On the other hand, I think it's disappointing that after all these months of you know, turmoil on this issue, that we don't have stricter guidelines for activities outside the protected area, the buffer zones and the corridors.